Hello and welcome to the 90s Mads podcast, your Newcastle United podcast, hosted by, I'd say, a couple of Newcastle United supporting friends because we're one short today. Myself, D-Man, alongside Jefferson. You good?
What up? What up? What up? Merry Christmas again.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Look, man. Merry effing Christmas. Anyway.
At least someone's repping. But yeah, we're joined today by two special guests. Both been on the show previously. We've got Double D from the D&D Footy Factory, Liverpool fan, big time Liverpool fan. And we have the return of Kante, our resident Fulham fan.
Yes, boy.
Good. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, get involved in the comments. You know, let us know what your thoughts on what we're discussing today. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Newcastle game, but we're also going to cover the Liverpool and Fulham games respectively towards the end of the show. So, yeah, let's kick it off. Jefferson, we seem to be the team of the moment. Another victory, this time home to Aston Villa. Some will say our arch nemesis, but it finished Newcastle 3, Aston Villa 0. A resounding victory. What are your thoughts? Happy? Surprised? Not surprised?
Pleasantly surprised. I mean, I thought we would play well because, as we know, our true to form, we play well at home. Do you know what I mean? But I thought it would be tighter than it was. And it feels at the moment like, you know, the car's full of petrol again. We're feeling the asphalt. We've got that traction grip on the wheels, and we're back on the motorway again. It just feels like we've got the cruise control on at the moment. You know, they get out on the pitch, and everyone knows their roles, what they got to do. And yeah, we look full of beans again. Our tails are up. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously, Villa, we know, you know, they've had issues with the squad, Champions League, but listen, that's no excuse, man. You got to come, and we brought it. Obviously, we'll get into it, you know, in more detail in a bit, but yeah, to see us playing like that against a really quality team in the Premier League, just a reminder that, you know, the coach, we know the talent of the coach they got, and the fact that they finished 4th last year, and we dealt with them like that. Yeah, feeling good, man. Good Christmas present.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was pretty confident going into the game. I did think it was going to be tighter than it was, and maybe it would have been had it not been for the sending off, which we'll discuss. But I actually predicted a 2-1 win. Given our form against Villa, especially at home, and the fact that I think Eddie Howe's only lost to Unai Emery once since they've both been in the Premier League. So, you know, and the form that we were in as well, scoring lots of goals. The introduction of certain people in our midfield has changed things for the better. So yeah, I was confident and happy with the performance. I thought it wasn't. I think it shows that we've now got a different style of play, right? We don't have to, you know, this intensity is identity thing. We still got some of that, but we don't. We have more control of the ball now. Yeah, we have more control of the ball, and we're actually using the ball in efficient ways now. When before we seemed kind of lost when we had the ball, and teams figured us out. They let us have the ball, and we ran out of ideas. So now we're showing something completely different, and you know, we're scoring lots of goals, and the defense is looking quite solid as well. And it doesn't matter who he's putting in there, whether it's, you know, Livramento, Trippier. You know, I mean, even Target got a little game on. I didn't know that brother was still alive. But
out the freezer.
I thought he's been bathing in that E45, man.
Yeah. But before we go to the nitty-gritty of the game, I'll go to our guest, Double D. What were your thoughts going into the game, seeing that obviously as a neutral, and seeing how both teams are playing? What were your thoughts on the game, and what did you predict as well?
Yeah, I predicted a Desmond. I thought it was going to be a 2-2 draw because I thought Duran in form, Rodgers driving for Villa as well, McGinn as well, and McGinn actually started the game off okay, but you know, so yeah, I thought that, but as you said, Newcastle looked like goals are just flowing at Dover, so I thought it was going to be entertaining, maybe 2-2, maybe even a 3-3. The sending off helped a bit. I thought, when I first saw it, I thought, yeah. And then when I saw it again, I thought, oh, I'm not sure he necessarily meant that. But Newcastle are flowing at the moment. It's taken a bit. And hopefully for the people who want Eddie Howe in. This has calmed.
Watch it, Double D. Watch it, man. Come on, mate. You're how out as well, right? Come on.
This is calmed. This has calmed it a bit, but you lot are in the position now that I said that I think that you lot would finish anyway. So let's see whether or not you can maintain it or not. You've still got people to come back from injury. As I said, like, people have to understand what your defence was doing when you had Botman fit way back. And yeah, it's looking better for you. That's an impressive win. You can't brush these ones aside. Early on in the season, we beat Bournemouth, and then people like, oh, we expect you to do it, but goes you watch. And since then, Bournemouth have accumulated a whole bag of points. So with what Villa have been doing, especially if this was after a European week, then I would have firmly been more Newcastle winning, because Villa, with their games after the Champions League, have been inconsistent, but it wasn't. And Newcastle have still gone out and they've got it done. So it's a good victory, man. And those Isak golden boot shots
not too
back in
far
operation
now, are they?
You know what I mean? They're back in operation.
Yeah, but pick up. We've got Alfie in the building. We've got Harpo and a mighty win from Newcastle Talk TV. Big up, big up.
Big up.
I see Harpo said running on premium update. Yeah, on that
See, people dig my analogies. They get it. They get it.
Saudi grade oil. But nah, Kante, you know, given the fact that we know how much you love Newcastle, were you surprised to see Newcastle win so convincingly, or did you think it was going to be a tighter affair?
I'm not surprised that you won the game, but I thought it would be obviously a lot tighter, because we know Newcastle now anyway, they're a pretty decent team. You know, they're, as Double D said, scoring goals, defensively solid. And the last time I watched them live was actually when we smoked you at Craven Cottage, of course.
I did get one in there. Okay.
Get him off. Get him out of here.
That was the last time I watched you lot live, and then you weren't playing good football. And I remember Jefferson wanted Eddie Howe out, and it was a very much Eddie Howe out podcast. Still does, obviously. It was a very much Eddie Howe podcast, the one after the Fulham game. But no, I've been impressed with Newcastle recently, you know. Whether or not he's changed much of the system, I don't know. I haven't really watched much of the games, but what I have seen, you're playing with a lot more intensity. You're a lot more, not high press, but you're getting in and around teams a lot more, you know. You're not as preserved as you were at the start of the season. And I think that's why I come to think, when I think of Newcastle, I think of a high intensity team, you know, a team that are exciting to watch, you know, that scores goals and good defensively. Because we saw that when you made the Champions League that season, you were good going forward and solid defensively. And then the season you got to the Champions League, you were a bit less brilliant going forward and a lot less, you know, tight at the back defensively. But yeah, I think I wasn't surprised that you won, but I'm surprised how bad Villa were, to be honest. They just look really off it at the moment. I don't know why. Obviously, they got Champions League, but you can't really use that as an excuse all the time. So something has to change with them. But, you know, big up Newcastle, man. Deserved all 3 points.
No, I appreciate it. All right, so let's get to the game itself, right? Because there wasn't much surprise with the lineup. Obviously, Joe Linton came back in for Willock, fresh off that suspension/injury. And, you know, strong lineup, which you expected. I mean, with the fixtures coming thick and fast, maybe some 40 may rotate, but I wasn't really surprised. But again, another fast start, Jefferson. This time, Anthony Gordon, after 180 seconds. Good goal as well. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable start. You know, what you would call probably an incredible and blistering start right out of the blocks. You know, literally 2 minutes or so, like you say, and really fitting at the goals at the Gallagher end as well. And, you know, we talked in previous pods about Gordon, you know, lacking a bit of confidence, and he didn't look it there. It was very evident what he wanted to do once he collected that ball from Joe Linton. And he got some good whip on the ball and pace into that top corner, right into the postage stamp as well. So good assist from J7 there. And this is what we want to see from Gordon. We want to see that directness, that pace, because he is a threat, particularly when he is confident. And, you know, we want to see more of the Gordon from last season. So it could be a situation where the team's confidence has rubbed off on him and it's almost become infectious, you know. And So I was really pleased with that goal. What a start! What a start that was. It really showed sort of our intent for this game. You know.
What impressed me is also that every member of the midfield was involved in that goal. It was Tonali that won it first, and I know he then played it off. I think fell to Bruno, who's fed it to Joe Linton, who's driven forward and then played it to Gordon. And what I also liked is Lewis Hall's run down the flank, because it took the defender, I think it was Cash, slightly to go towards him, and that freed up the space for Gordon to cut in and bang it. And again, like I said, great finish, and that's what we want to see from Gordon. I mean, him and Eddie Howe said they've been working on his finishing in training, so hopefully we can see more of that. And this is one of Gordon's better games, I must say. He was everywhere. He played very well. But to get the early goal, once you get the early goal against Aston Villa, who tried to sit back, the game plan was to sit back and hit us on a break. Obviously, they had to come out after that. But just a question for Kante and Double D, right? Because obviously Double D, we had the speculation about Gordon wanting to come to Liverpool interested in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take him over any of your players now? And that goes for both of you. I'll go to you, WD, first.
I like Gordon, but I'll say no. But there's the short answer is no, but there's a long answer as well. But I won't bore you lot with that. But the funny thing is that I've been partially getting at him recently, and I actually sent D-Man some stats, because in 5 less starts, then Jacob Murphy was outperforming him in much less minutes in terms of G&A. So I hadn't even started watching it, flipped on the Amazon to start watching the game there, and he's going to bang this worldie, and it was a super finish. So I think he heard us cussing him in the WhatsApp group. But I think he's a streaky player, but I think what emphasised what he did last season was the fact that at home against Big Six teams, he was scoring freely. But it's in the other games, the fodder away and whatnot, that you expect him to stand up more, do something. So I like him as a good player, but at the moment I wouldn't necessarily take him over one of our players. But if he can be like that more often, Newcastle are going to finish very high in the table. That's what I'm saying, because Joe Murphy misses chances. He's trying. He's doing his thing. You know what you're going to get from Bruno. Slowish start to the season, doing his thing. If you get Gordon, whether he's on the left or the right, up and down, with his pace and some of the finishes he come out with, like last season, this one here, that finish against Manchester City last season. If he's going and he can stay fit and be more consistent, Newcastle are going to do things, brother, and hopefully knock Arsenal out of the League Cup too. Sorry, I have to squeeze that one. But no, I wouldn't over any of our players at the moment. But if we were to get him, I wouldn't be disappointed by it, if that makes any sense. You get what I'm saying? But yeah.
Kante, am I right in saying that Iwobi played on that side for you guys?
Yes, Alex Iwobi plays on the left for us. Yeah.
So if you taking if the chart hypothetically, if the chance came up to sign Anthony Gordon, would you take him?
No, because Iwobi is a better player than Anthony Gordon. You know, so just look at the goals and assists, and the only player that's played more successful through balls in the penalty area in Europe's top 5 leagues this season than Alex Iwobi is Lamine Yamal of Barcelona. So that's everything you've got to know about.
I think I saw that stat on Twitter the other week.
Okay.
That no was rapid, boy.
Isn't it?
That no was faster than Anthony Gordon, man.
Hold on a minute.
And that's something.
So
We don't need him.
Here's a question though. Do you think come end of the season, Alex Iwobi will have more G&A than Anthony Gordon?
Yes, I do. I think right now, Gordon's a good player. I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything, but if you're looking at overall what they can bring to a team, I'd say Iwobi can bring a bit more to a team than Gordon does. I think with Gordon, you know what you're going to get with Gordon. I think he's very easy sometimes. If teams read what Newcastle do, he's very easy to mark out games, just like Fulham did at the Cottage, of course. You know, he was pretty much dead silent.
These shots are crazy.
He's not like this close.
So I think you know when Iwobi's firing, because I think Iwobi's been our best player this season, and I don't think anyone can pretty much disagree with that. So I think when Iwobi's firing, he's a very good player. So I'd say come the end of the season, it'll be close, you know, because I think Gordon will have a good end to the season. But I think away we will just edge it for sure.
He might get more goals. I don't know about assists because you have to remember who your strikers are and who our striker is. So,
but yeah, we beat you without a striker, though, didn't we? So
it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, the season's long. The season's long.
It's a long season. It is a long
You
season.
know what though? I
You was
think
above us then.
Yeah, we were.
I think Kante might have a point though. Do you know? I think back to the diagram that AC showed last week, and at the moment, all our attacks are coming up the right side. So he plays left side. So unless that changes,
we're more balanced now. We're more balanced now. I say that the attacks are going down the left and the right. You look at the game against who did we beat 4-0 when Isak scored? Ipswich. Hall's assist, Gordon's assist. All that was all it came down. It was quite balanced. It was quite balanced. And we do create quite a lot down the left now. Obviously, at one point we was all on the left. We had nothing on the right.
Yeah.
Now that Murphy's come in, which we'll talk to, is a bit more balanced. But Harple come in, he said Gordon is very much a confidence player. When he doesn't give it, when he doesn't go his way, you can tell he takes it personally. Probably something he needs to work on. And I did notice he was on the verge of like not acting up, but throwing a little mini fit when he got subbed yesterday. But then the crowd started chanting his name and he kind of called off kind of thing. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so obviously we go 1-0 up now, and and I thought it's a fairly even game, but we were creating more chances, right? I think I can't remember which chances we had, but we had one or two. Bruno at the back post, which was unlucky, and I think we had another one as well. I can't remember. But then the flashpoint comes, right? The red card for this guy. Yeah. Now, obviously, Tonali gives it away. Obviously, goes up the pitch now, and Fabian Schär intercepts. Right now, I personally don't believe it was a red card. Does anybody else agree with me?
I agree.
I think
I agree.
It wasn't. But you was all the one anyway. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't the red card. When I saw it normally, I thought I see what he's gone off for. But then the replay, I see it. I thought that's not intentional. The legs just
I mean, I can see why it was given, but when you look at it, especially when VAR's looking at it, for me, obviously, they've come together. His left ankle has gone over. And when he stepped on Fabian Schär's back, he's actually not tried to stamp. He's tried to avoid the stamp.
Yes,
that's why he's trying to put his legs straight.
Yes,
he moves his foot.
Yeah, so
because it's caught him and it's right down. That's where they think but you have to be sure it's intentional, surely. But for me, I thought he was personally unlucky. But I mean, his behaviour after that was ridiculous.
Oh no, the fine's going to be hefty, but
yeah.
With the official, and then he kicked the water bottles. He was going nuts, man.
Yeah. But Jefferson, what did you say? You don't think it was a red, or you do think it was a red?
I think there was intent there, man. Whether he flipped on it and thought, oh, actually, no, I don't want to do it, because sometimes it could be a rush of blood to the head, where it's like a reaction, because I think as Schär's falling down, Schär actually kicks his leg out at Duran. That's why I thought there was intent. I think he was trying to get Schär back. If you watch it again, Schär kicks his leg out at him first as he's sliding back to be like, get off me, you dickhead, sort of thing. And then I think Duran tries to get him back, and I don't know if he loses his balance. He either loses his balance and he couldn't do what he wanted to do properly, or he checked out and thought, oh shit, I can't do this, but it was too late, and he kind of just slightly grazes him rather than actually stamps. Because just have another look again. I think Schär slightly kicks out at him, and I'm shocked VAR didn't pick that up. But it's one of those ones. Again, I talk about it again and again. We've had many years of poor luck. So if it is a situation of good luck, I'll take it.
Okay. Kante, what do you think? Red? Nah,
not for me. I've seen worse not given. So the fact that's a red card to me, I think is pretty embarrassing. That's what VAR is there for, to obviously overturn those things. But the fact that VAR even went, it's a red card, I think it's pretty much it just sums up what the officiating in this country is, to be honest. So I saw an angle where when Duran, obviously his left foot goes past Schär, he slips and then his right foot comes down on Schär, but it's not like he's stamped on him. Like he's tried to, in a way, move away, but as he slipped, he can't control his body when he slips. So that right foot's always going to go on his back. So I don't think it's a red for me.
So he gets the red card, right? So it's obviously advantage Newcastle. But we've seen in many instances, it does sometimes make the game harder because teams, Villa didn't have to change their game plan, sit back and try to hit us on the break kind of thing. So it was up to us to break them down, and we had a few opportunities in that first half. I think Martinez forced a great save from Tonali when Bruno's cut it back, and Tonali's come bursting into the area. Good save from him. I can't remember too many clear cut. There was the disallowed goal when Isak kind of ran it over the line, squared it back to Joe Linton.
Oh yeah.
But it was rightfully disallowed. So we're putting on the pressure, but it wasn't. I thought we need to make more of it, innit? And if Villa had their only shot on target, I think, was from the free kick.
Yeah, good save. Good save. Yeah,
good save from Dubs. I mean, I'd be very disappointed if he didn't save it because of the height and where it was, but it was a good save. But that was their only shot on target. But yeah, we go into the break 1-0. Now at 1-0, Jefferson, were you concerned or were you thinking, okay, they've got the 10 men, we're comfortable, we're going to put this to bed?
What I would say is, very quickly going back to the incident, by the way, Tonali deserves an assist because in one of the rare moments he did mess up, he actually gave the ball away. And if he didn't have done that, it wouldn't have led to the incident. So as bad as that was, assist for Tonali. There we go. Yeah, I think.
So just quickly, Harpo just said, "Nah, he's right foot trying to start Shear's arse. He was trying to style it out, but looked a bit aggressive with it. Red card. I mean, he had split opinion.
I think him and Shear were having a bit of handbags.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to, I just think Villa were rattled. They were rattled by the early start.
Yep.
They were rattled by our pressing and intensity. They were rattled by the pace of which we were distributing the ball, particularly thanks to Tonali. And actually, Joe Linton was a big part of the attack. He had, I think it was 2 headers. There was one perfect chance where it caused chaos in the box where Tonali whips it in from the right-hand side. And I think Joe Linton tries to get something on it and knock it down for Bruno for the tap-in, and sort of the keeper was flapping everywhere. So I think we took it to them physically. The intensity was there, and I think they were absolutely rattled. I think it's kind of like a boxer, that gets a couple of jabs, they're rocked a bit, and they don't know what they're doing. So I think that was the stance where it was like maybe they were hoping to pick things up later in the game, but at that point, I actually felt like we've got them here because it was wave after wave of attack. They were getting peppered. They were getting absolutely peppered, and I think we had 22 shots in the game with 8 on target. So not only did we dominate possession, but we showed clear intent with many shots on target.
And that's the promising thing, because earlier on in the season we weren't creating enough chances. We're still not putting them all away. We're still missing some guilty chances, but our goal difference is improving with every game. So we can't be too picky about it. But yeah, the second half starts now. Pretty much same as the first. We got a relatively early, I think it was like the 51st or 52nd minute. Now this was a very well worked goal for Isak, because the pattern of play that led to it, and then the exquisite through ball from Bruno outside of the boot that fed Murphy's run, cuts it across the box, and there's Isak to tap it in from yards out. I think that's his 11th in the league now. 11th in the league, at something like 11 in 11 games or something like that.
11 in 12 games, and he came into the game with 10 in 11. So it shows the kind of form. And I believe, I could be wrong here, I think he scored in 5 successive Premier League games now as well.
That is crazy. And I know we had the stat on the last part about goals in the calendar year. So he may have equaled Andy Cole now, I think it is. He needs one more to beat him. And then I think a couple more to equal Shearer, I think it is. So he's got the game against Manchester United, which we'll speak on a bit later. But
needs another hat trick, which would be lovely.
Yeah. But it's I mean, listen, we have to give credit to Jacob Murphy as well, because that's another assist for him. He is, whether or not he divides fans' opinions, but he works hard, and he's shown a rich vein of form since Eddie's brought him back into the team, and he's brought that balance to the team as well. So we've been racked in Liverpool by Isak, but how good is he? Because I know, shout out to Spec, there was a debate on Geordie Jed TV with a Liverpool fan and an Arsenal fan, and Daps from Never a Foul. And Spec was saying that Isak is better than Haaland, right?
All round player in terms of all round plays, he's easily better than him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And his argument was if you put him in City's team,
Mm-hmm.
he'd bang a lot more goals, closer to what Haaland's been banging. Not exceed it, but they would say, listen, Haaland's broken every league in the Premier League. He's a different animal, and also said he's done it for the lesser. He's done it across his career with Isak, has only done it really for Newcastle and stuff like that. But my thing is, like I said, all round game, I think he's one of the best around. And if teams are looking for a striker, he's the one that's in demand at the moment, right? And he ain't gone 8 games with scoring 2 goals right about now, like Haaland has. So right now, I think he's top dog. I'm not saying he's better than Haaland, but it's not as far. The gap ain't as far as some people say it is. But
I think it is, no.
Yeah.
No, all round play.
Go on.
The longer answer, all round play, because as someone, if it wasn't your last pod, it was your penultimate pod, was talking about the fact that he can link the play up. The amount of chances, the amount of assists, we were cussing him last season, D, about the lack of assists. This season alone, the amount of balls that he's fed, Murphy's probably the biggest man with blood on his hands, but he's fed Gordon. He's brought so many people through and they've missed, right? But his ability to drop off, he can go out left. We saw there was a stage last season where you lot were playing. Was it last season or was it at the end of the previous season where you lot were playing Isak on the left and Wilson in the centre? And even still on the left, Isak was chopping people, getting to the byline. That would have been assist against Everton season before last, etc. But his ability to dribble, he's a great player, man. He's a great player. But it's about whether you could keep it or not. But yeah, Haaland, put it this way, it sounds bad because Haaland's missed some City this season as well. There's been 1 or 2 chances that Isak should have scored this season when he was through.
Every game he misses one.
I think Haaland, without the nonsense that's going on now, he'll just smash it into the goal. It won't look as good as when Isak side foots it in from an angle. It looks like prime Thierry Henry momentarily, but Haaland will just force it in. But all-round player, Isak's better. And in terms of what Slot wants he's the front man to do,
relax.
He'd look perfect. Yeah, but what I was going to say is that our owners are FSG, bros. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying to say what he wants the player to do in terms of that mix. So then Salah or Diaz go centre, move around and rotate the front three. The guy would be the guy would be perfect. But yeah, great player. But can you not keep him? Is the question, man. Can you keep him? Because I know he loves the club.
150 or nothing.
No, I don't care.
150 or nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Even if he's priceless. He is priceless to us, bro. Sell anyone else apart from Tonali. Sell anyone else apart from Isak, bro. Everyone else has their price. Not Isak and not Tonali, bro. Yeah. But Harpo said to Alfie, he said Isak has so much more to his game. And I know Alfie said Haaland's finishing is better, but Isak is better all around. Yeah. Fair point. Yeah. Before we move on, Kante, would you take Isak in your team then?
No, mate. No.
You're on the wind-up, Kante.
I'll be honest. Listen, I think for me, Isak is he's world class. For me, I said this to Jeff last year. Jeff said that Isak was world class, and I said, right now, I wouldn't say he's world class because of what Haaland and other players are doing, but he's proven himself to be world class. And for me, he's the 3rd best striker in the world right now. Obviously, number 1 is Rodrigo Muniz, and then number 2 is Gyökeres. So number 2 is Gyökeres, and then number 3 is Alexander Isak. He's just ahead of Raul Jimenez as well. So yeah, but no, Isak's world class, man. Love the guy to bits. So yeah, I fingers crossed he gets the golden boot because he deserves it, man, for sure, man.
That's when you'll see the 200 million price tag put on his head, bro. But,
you know what? Muniz, I think Muniz has a decent ceiling.
No, he's quality.
We've seen the player in there, but as for Gyökeres, I know Gyökeres is what. Is he 26 now?
27.
Is he 27? I mean, he probably won't get much better than he is, but we know that he's deadly at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was deadly at Coventry, you know. So I saw him live against Fulham at Cov twice, and when I say he bent us backwards, sideways, and gave us a new one, it was a joke, man. It was. Apart from Mitrovic that season, I think if Fulham had Gyökeres in their team, he scores more than Mitrovic's 43 goals. I think he was that good that season.
Mitro, man, you see Mitro. I've seen two different sides to Mitro. I've seen him play for us, and you could see there was something in there, but I don't know if it was a mental block. He just
was young,
went at the races.
He was young, yeah. And
you got him when he was really young, though.
Yeah.
I went to see him at the Cottage when Fulham, I think you lot batted up QPR 4-0. And I think Mitrovic got 2 that day. And
he
looked slimmer.
Yeah.
He just looked that second sharper. He looked like the ultimate forward that day.
He was. I think that season, that's the fittest I've ever seen him look in a Fulham shirt for me. And of course, he left and said he didn't want to play for us anymore. But yeah, that season was a good song.
Okay. And Carvalho was cooking behind him, both.
Carvalho, Fabio Carvalho, that season we had Carvalho, Cabana, Wilson was there as well. So it was a good season, that one, man.
But all right, so we go to 2-0, right? And it becomes a story of disallowed goals, isn't it? Because soon after that, Isak has the goal disallowed. I see. It was rightfully disallowed, isn't it? Because he was ahead of the goalkeeper. But I thought Murphy should have shot that after the little jink that he did. Should have shot it. But was it before or after that Murphy missed the open goal?
Jesus in heaven, man.
That was
man. Wow. I'll leave that one to you guys. Double.
How does this guy how does he get so many chances? He literally misses one of these chances on average every game that he starts, bro. It's crazy. And then some of the goals he scores, he'll miss a simple chance and then he'll smash one into the edge of the box off the bar.
Yeah. I don't get it, you know what it is? When he's got time to think, he has brain farts, bro. But when it's just instant, he can pull something off. But good Lord, when I saw that, because I didn't see the game, right? But I saw people talk about Murphy, how he missed it. When I saw the replay, I thought, my God, what are you doing, bro? But yeah, obviously Isak has the goal disallowed, and then Bruno has the goal disallowed. Now, listen, I understand the rules of the game, but that was so harsh because not only he's turned his back to it and it's hit him unawares on the back of his elbow, but by the rules of the game, it's handball in it. So
remember Bournemouth, innit? Remember Bournemouth, D-man.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
One of them ones, isn't it?
It's up to interpretation, like, you know what I mean? But maybe they felt sorry for Villa at the time because they were getting pummeled. Bro. But yeah. And then obviously to wrap it up in injury time, Joe Linton, by that time, Villa looked dead on their feet. And it was a sloppy ball out from Onana. Joe Linton intercepts and great finish as well. Very good finish. And he had a very good game, Joe Linton, to be fair, on his return. And it's 3-0. Great win. We go above Aston Villa.
Didn't Bruno have one disallowed as well?
Yeah, that's the one that hit, that's what we're talking about. The one that hit his
handball.
I thought that was an offside one because I was in and out of the. Oh, okay. I thought that. Okay, cool.
But yeah, listen, just all right. From a neutral point standpoint, who do you think has been our key player, especially in this game and maybe games that you've seen since our turn of form? I'll start with you, Kante.
Oh, well, I mean, the easy answer you've got to say is Bruno G. Because I think from a stand-up point of view, I think even when you lot were struggling, the one player I saw that was maybe not giving it his all, but I saw that was actually trying to do something was Bruno G. I think recently, since you've come up a bit and you've performed brilliantly well, I think it has to be Alexander Isak. I think when he's firing, I don't think anyone in the world can stop him. I don't think any team can stop him when he's firing, of course, apart from Fulham, that we did that. But you know, I think when he's on form, he flies, man. So I'd say Isak. But overall for the season so far, I'd say Bruno G. But a big shout out to Tonali as well, because I think Tonali is
he's the guy, bro.
Tonali's remarkable, man. Absolutely remarkable.
And we say it every week, right? And I have to keep emphasizing, we've been saying this since day dot. Yeah, one of the only few Newcastle United podcasts that we've been saying from day dot. Sandro Tonali needs to be starting and needs to be starting in the 6th position, right?
Yeah.
And there's no coincidence that since Eddie Howe's woken up, right? Whether he listens to the podcast or not, right? Since he's woken up and played him in the 6, not only have we not lost a game, right? We're winning games comfortably, right? We're playing well. He what do you call him? The composer, right? He's the composer. Bruno's the maestro, yeah. But Tonali dictates the flow of the game. You know, he offers a bit. He's a different number 6 to Bruno in it because he's quicker than Bruno. He's more aggressive, but his recovery pace is a lot better, and you know he passes the ball quicker as well. You know, so taking the ball off the back 4, starting the attacks, whatever. Bruno wants to dribble too much and then pass it when he's in the 6th position. But him in the 6 allows Bruno to shine in the 8. Yeah. And again, it's no coincidence that Bruno's numbers have significantly improved since he's been pushed further forward, you know, able to express himself, and he hasn't got the responsibility to track back as quick as he needed to do in the 6. And it seems we've got a lot more. The word is balance. We've got a balance to our team now and a balance to our midfield. And not only that, the midfield 3, whether it's Joelinton, Tonali, and Bruno, or if you put Willock in there instead of Joelinton, they work in tandem. We've now got a strong midfield base to work on, and the defense is more confident, the attack is more confident. Isak's getting more service as well. Murphy on the right, and also bringing Murphy on the right hand side as well was a great move as well. But to me, the key is Sandro Tonali, and the worry thing is that he's 1 yellow away from suspension. So he needs to until we get to what game was it that we played? Wolves, maybe. Yeah. Chill out, Raf. Yeah, we cannot afford to miss it against Man United or Tottenham. You know what I mean? We can't afford them things, right? So just hold tight a little bit. But Jefferson, would you agree is Tonali the key?
You know what? We know Tonali's the key. And they're almost two sides of the same coin. So I feel like Tonali and Bruno share the burden in tandem because they complement and make each other look better. So I would agree with both you and Kante on that particularly. But there's one person I think everybody's missing out, who I probably think has probably been the most important player.
I know you're going to say,
Martin Dubravka.
Yeah, I know you're going to say that.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay,
because
someone else,
it's another clean sheet for Dubravka. And it's not just about the saves. It's the way that he's composed and allows the defense to be relaxed. Now, I'm not going to go over it again. We've talked about it in the summer that I was like, I love Nick Pope, but it was time for him to go. We see that the defense is always panicked when he's there. They don't know if he's coming, if he's going to jump out and punch it, if he's going to try and sweep from 20 yards out and miss the ball. All of a sudden now you see the defense relax and compose. And we've always talked about this. When you look at, forming a team or establishing some kind of form of chemistry, cohesion, you start from the back and you move forwards. And we've noticed, I'm not being rude, but ever since Pope got injured and Dubravka's come in, the defense looked really assured, and then that reverberates across the team.
The thing about Dubravka as well, this is the Dubravka of old, right? Not last season's Dubravka, but before that, right? When he looked assured, we looked confident with him when he went to back. But is he playing for a move? Because there's rumors that he's agreed to join a team in Saudi and he's going to be joining in January. Yeah,
I think.
Now the thing is, if he goes, surely they should try to hold on to him to the summer now, given the fact that. But the thing is, Eddie, once Nick Pope's fit, you're going to fling him straight back in there. And that's when all hell's going to break loose. The defense is going to be more panicky. We're going to see the difference in Nick Pope with the ball at his feet. It's going to be, he looks so uncomfortable. But hopefully, I don't know, because other than that, there's rumors that he's going to bring in James Trafford. And I don't want James Trafford.
Man, you want James Trafford. Stop this. You want James Trafford.
No. Oh, allow it. Oh, matey.
Keep his brother away from the team, man. But yeah, I just see the comment there from Hartford, Tyndall Royal Rumble at half time. Listen,
I forgot to ask you about this. Apparently there was a mad dish, bruv. And then even Hal spoke about it, and he said, "Oh, melee," but the way he dropped it was like melee was an understatement. So I don't know what WWE you might have been watching.
You see,
It kicked off big time.
But you see Tyndall shushing every minute on from the sideline. I think that's what kicked it off. And then apparently, is it Tyndall and the Villa analyst or something? Both got red cards or something like that. Wow. And then Tyndall comes out with that Wham, that T-shirt, that hoodie at the end with him and Eddie Howe's face on it. Was it Wham or was it tribute to Gavin Stacey? I can't remember what it was. But this guy's a mad guy. But now apparently he's holding a ban. So that's not good news. But listen, he's a wind-up. We know he's a wind-up merchant, isn't it? But it is what it is. But yeah, I think literally most of the players, they played very well. Shout out to Dan Burn as well, because he's probably been our most consistent player of the season, and he played very well. Obviously, the red card helped him, whatever. But snuffing out attacks, looking comfortable in that left centre back position.
Lewis Hall
as well. Yeah, another great performance. We've got Botman coming back, so maybe Dan Burn knows that, you know what, he's got to try to keep him out of the team for as long as possible, because you know what I mean, we could have options. Hold tight, DB NUFC. Big up the panel. We said
that's your doppelganger in it, D man.
That's what I'm saying. D man's
a lot of people got confused us, in it.
It was you in the multiverse.
But yeah, big up. He said, I don't want to see Pope straight back in till Dubravka drops a couple of howlers. Pope has meltdowns every time he passes in the ball, and his shot stopping isn't the same anymore.
Yeah, it's the shoulder, isn't it? The shoulder.
Yeah. What I would say though is that Pope is more commanding in the air than Dubravka. Dubravka had a couple shaky moments yesterday with the crosses and stuff, and a howler may be on the cards anytime soon. So we got to. But for now, listen, happy how he's doing it. He's only conceded one goal since he's come back, and that's the late goal consolation from Brentford. So
will Eddie bring Pope back in though? These are the moments that I'm not going to get into it, but these are the moments where it's make or break for the coach in terms of his caliber. You can see that the team's playing well. Do you want to disrupt the harmony on the basis that Pope was the established number one? If it was me, I wouldn't rock the apple cart. So let's see what happens.
Obviously, he made a few subs, didn't he? What do you think of Kieran Trippier's performance, by the way? Good, Brad? Okay.
Steady.
Well, what I saw like about 45.
He looked a bit rusty. He did look a bit rusty, giving the ball away a couple of times. But I think he went down with some sort of, I don't know, it was cramp or a little injury in the 80th minute. And like I said, he brought in Matt Target.
Big up Matt Target.
Yeah, big up Matt Target. Get him out of the club. He's stealing the living right about now, but it is what it is. But listen, Newcastle, we're up to 5th now. We have to ask the question, but before we go to Jefferson, because I know what his answer is going to be, but Kante, do you see this as a corner turn for Newcastle? Should the rest of the league be worried?
On current form, yes, but like how it's similar to my club right now. When we play the bigger teams, we're all right. So the teams that you expect us to be losing to or dropping points against, we're picking points up. Liverpool should have beat them, and it was a draw, obviously. Beat Chelsea on the weekend. Should have beat Arsenal, drew. Should have beat United away, lost. Should have beat City, lost. And then we play teams like Wolves and gets battered, and play Southampton and play crap. So on form, people should be worried. But again, you don't know. I still don't know about Newcastle. I still very much feel like it depends what Newcastle turns up. If they're good, they're good. And if they're shit, they're shit. There's no in between. There's no like, if Newcastle are shit, they'll lose a game, and if they're good, they'll win. I don't think there's an in between with them.
I take your point, because obviously the accusation was that Newcastle, we turn up, especially at home against the big teams. We've beaten the Arsenals, drew City, drew Liverpool, beat Spurs. You know what I mean? Beat Chelsea in the cup, should I say, as well. And then we go and disappoint to the lower teams like Fulham. So but yeah. However, we have kind of put that to get to bed of late, against the likes of Leicester and Ipswich, and then we need to beat the teams around us, the Aston Villas, stuff like that. Brentford we suffered against. I know we'll be serious. Fulham we suffered against as well, but
suffered.
But
suffered, right?
What? I don't listen. We're in good form. Good form. we're on a good run, and we're playing well. Yeah, so credit where it's due. And I always said that the Villa game and the Manchester United game will tell us where we really are. Now, my thing is that we put some things to bed, but the last thing we need to put to bed is going away from home against a big team and getting 3 points. Yeah, because Eddie Howe tends to play very defensive. Yeah, very, very reserved, pragmatic, and we lose. At best, we get a point, but normally we lose away from home against a bigger team. So this time, listen, if we can't beat this Manchester United team, yeah, something's wrong, because they are absolute trash. Their fans are talking about fighting relegation. Their managers are talking about survival is the aim of the season. And they've got Fernandes and Ugarte suspended. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah,
If we cannot put the team to bed finally at Old Trafford in the league, something is seriously wrong. Seriously wrong.
They're talking about Collier possibly even starting. If that is the case, yeah, you see Joe Lynn, they could have a field day, bruv.
Bro,
Yeah,
it could get ugly.
They
It
could
could
have a
get
field
too
day.
ugly. But we cannot go in there thinking we're going to smash them. Because remember what happened against West Ham when everyone thought we were going to wipe the floor of West Ham and look what they did to us.
Yep.
Yeah, so we need to be a bit more just get the job done. Yeah, and keep it moving. Yeah, because we've got a hard run of games coming up. But listen, we're up to 5th. You know, a few games ago, a month ago, we would never thought of this. Thought we'd be in this position. So credit where it's due. Can we stay there, Jefferson? Is this a corner turned, or do you need a lot more convincing?
Listen,
here we go.
I'm just gonna come.
First.
I'm gonna come with the realism, right? Why are people getting so gassed? Why are people getting so gassed? Right? All over Twitter, Double D, all over Twitter. Oh, we turned the corner. Listen, I don't know if Win is still in the room. Even Chris let me down. I saw it. We turned the corner. What? And that man brings the heat. Listen, at the start of the season, we did our predictions. D-man, I predicted 5th. Where did you predict?
I predicted 4th.
4th.
Yeah, madman.
So at the start of the season, this is where we saw ourselves. And without, having too much PTSD and trauma, going back to last season, we missed out on 4th by 8 points and 6th by 3 points. And that's despite all the injuries. What does that tell you? That tells you that we're still a phenomenal team. So Eddie Howe has all the tools to succeed. So the way he was flopping before, he should have been gone. It's a miracle he's still in the job. We are not, we're acting like flat track bullies at the moment, because to beat Leicester and Ipswich 4-0 is bread and butter. That's what this team should be doing. So you can argue this game that we just won is the first credible game out of the lot. Why is everybody getting gassed? Yeah, this is where we should be. In fact, we're below where we should be. Why are Forest above us? Why are Bournemouth on the same points? Everybody needs to chill out. I'm not talking about you, man, on this pod and some of you lot watching. I'm just saying in general what I've been seeing on Twitter. Everyone needs to chill out, yeah? Because even if we get a result in the next game, Man United are in disarray. I know it's a one-off game because of the rivalry, but we should be expected to win that game. Now, I think it's a ticking clock. We're purring, we're playing well, we got our tails up, but we've seen the pattern. Other teams are going to work us out again. If we got the same manager, what's he going to do? Because he's not the best tactician. What's he going to do? So, listen, I'm staying high on my hill that I'm out. That's it. I don't think it's a turn the corner. I think it's let's be realistic, let's be practical, one game at a time. But I'm shocked how people are so gassed. What? Because we beat Leicester and Ipswich. Come on now.
So before we go to Double D, before we move on, what will it take for? And I'm just saying, what will it take for you to feel that a corner has been turned? Yeah, because remember we've got Man United.
There's a tear in my eye.
Hey, Double D, need some tissue? I've got some.
Sorry, man.
I need some tissue.
Listen, we've got Man United and we've got Spurs and then we've got Arsenal, right? So hypothetically, if we win those 3 games, or even if we get a draw in one of them and with the other 2, would that convince you?
Sorry, he's making me laugh. Sorry.
Would that convince you? What we did?
We need an AC. We need an AC outro, don't we?
If Newcastle lost to Aston Villa, how the hell would this podcast be going?
But he would have trashed the play.
He's on
the
promo.
I don't think it'll happen. I don't think it'll turn up.
But remember, he predicted a draw, you know. He predicted a draw. We got the 3 points. If we beat Manchester United, even I will have to admit that this is looking like a corner.
Yeah. Optimism. Come on now.
Is.
Come on now. Don't be like Grinch over there in his Christmas jumper.
But like DB said, if we can get 4 points from Man U and Spurs, then we get a little gassed. Listen, if we get 4 points from those 2 games, I will be fully convinced because
that we've turned the corner.
Yeah, because we got running games after.
This Jekyll and Hyde team, yeah.
No.
Do we need to run back through the shockers we've had this season? Losing 3-1 to Fulham, yeah.
But listen.
I don't trust this team,
but
bro.
It could be a corner turn because remember last time people were saying there's a corner turn after 3 games, bro, and then I think we drew with Palace or lost to Brentford, whichever one it was, right? But this one, if we was to get a draw against one of them and beat the other, that's what an unbeaten run of 6-7 games. So with 5 wins.
What happens? Let's just say we sign Trafford and Tavernier in the window. Yeah.
Then
we might get Gerhi or some championship centre back, and they're like, yeah, we're done because of FFP.
Yeah, but listen, it won't be ideal. That would be far from ideal. However, we have to judge it on the result, right? Because listen, I'm not saying he will get the top 6 because I said if he gets top 6, he can stay. Yeah, if anything less than top 6, he needs to go. And we've still got a fight in our hands. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. We're going to lose games. We're going to lose more games throughout the season. But if this could be, there is no reason to not feel a bit more optimistic. If we come through this run of games, remember this was. We thought he'd be sacked after this, bro, because of the results. We thought we were going to lose that Ipswich, bro, and we cleaned their clock. Villa, a lot of us thought we wouldn't win. Got the 3 points. It's the Man United game that worries me, bro. I'm telling you, if we lose that, bro, head loss. But because they are, like I keep saying, they're crap. This is the worst Manchester United team for a very, very, very long time. So there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. But being 5th at the moment, after 18 games, is it? That's not a bad look. Yeah. It's not a bad look.
Next game marks halfway. And I think we're 5 points behind Forest. So if anything, as a response to your question as well, I think take it 1 game at a time, but our target should be to chase Forest.
Oh, yeah.
Try and get into that.
Top
5
4
points is doable if we just have to keep winning, basically.
Yeah.
We have to keep winning.
All right, so that's the Newcastle section, because obviously there's 2 other teams. We've got Fulham and Liverpool to talk about. So let's start with Fulham, right? Because I think they're quite.
Fulham.
Yeah. And they had a great win at Stamford Bridge yesterday. I took my son to his first football match yesterday. I know. We're going Palace at the weekend, and we're going Tottenham Newcastle after that. But yeah, listen, it finished Fulham. Chelsea 1, Fulham 2, and I must say I was impressed with Fulham. I thought Chelsea probably was slightly the better team in the first half. Great goal from Cole Palmer, by the way. Great finish, nutmegging the defender and curling the bottom corner. But second half, Fulham fully deserved that victory. That they were putting on the pressure, they were creating the chances, they're knocking about well. And I know we've had this talk about Anthony Robertson, right? And I saw him in the flesh, and I have to say, very impressive.
Best left back in the league.
No, he's not. He is,
mate. Best left back in the league, mate.
He's not.
Best left back in the league, son. Yeah. Yes, he is, mate.
Lewis Hall took that crown a while back. Yeah.
He spanked up Newcastle and then turned up when you were in the flesh. It's fine.
But no, he's very good. He's very good. He don't stop running. Most of the attacks came down their left-hand side, and he don't stop running one bit. Like he's better going forward than he is defensively, but he still had a decent game at the back as well. For sure. Yeah. But no, and I think really he's quite stocky. I didn't think he was. He's actually quite a stocky lad. Like,
he's quite physical, man. He's very physical.
But yeah, like I said, and you know what's causing problems all over the park. And who's that dread at the back? Bassey. That run that he went on. That run that he went on, I'm thinking, who does he think he is? He was shocking. marking man left, right, center, and
Top baller,
between the
top
two,
baller.
and then but
Yeah.
nah, you look comfortable on the ball as well. You didn't let going 1-0 down. You didn't let it phase you. You still played your way. You played your style of football. I thought obviously Jimenez was he was isolated up front. He didn't really have much of a sniff, but obviously the substitution changed the game. I mean, good, well worked goal for the equaliser, and the break for the winner. Oh, and the finish from that, is it Muniz, whatever his name is? Very good.
Good touch and finish.
Very good.
Beautiful stuff, mate.
So are you still Marco Silva out?
Quick answer, yes. All right.
Oh,
so I know there's still I hope there's Fulham fans watching, right? And I get a lot of shit for this on Twitter, okay? So the reason for this is, right? Obviously, I've seen Marco Silva in my lifetime, maybe besides Roy Hodgson, has been Fulham's best ever manager. I'm not gonna deny that. And Jeff, I've told Jeff a bunch of times, yeah. I've been very honest. Here's the thing, right? Our first season, when we first got promoted, I can take 10th place is a great season for Fulham, right? Everyone had us bottom. We came 10th. Yeah. Let's not forget, the only reason why we didn't finish in a European spot was down to Marco Silva losing his head against Manchester United, which then saw Willian and Mitrovic get sent off. That's down on him. The second season, our problem was, so last season, we had a very good results against bigger sides. So Arsenal took 4 points of Arsenal. Yeah, took Liverpool close in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Took United close. We even beat United at Old Trafford. Took City close as well. But then we dropped 4 points to Burnley. And then we were 4-1 down against Sheffield United at one point. And then 3-0 down at Nottingham Forest, which he made subs at after half an hour. The first time we've ever done that. This season, it's the same thing. We're beating teams like Arsenal. We've beaten... Who else have we beaten? Chelsea, of course. We got big wins against Brentford. Got a draw against Arsenal. Beat Newcastle. I'd say beat Newcastle. Smacked you lot up at Craven Cottage.
When did we face you again, bro? I'm trying to look at these fixtures. When did we face you again?
You lot should have brought up a counter for can't take Newcastle dishes, bruv. Should have put a counter up, bruv.
Yeah, mate. It'll be in the comments. It'll be in the comments. But yeah, obviously smashed these lot up at Craven Cottage, When
Hey, that dead ground.
When do we play them again? And we'll do the same in February as well. Yeah, we'll do the same as well. So happy Valentine's Day for those watching, for Newcastle fans. So you have a lovely day.
You get slapped.
Okay. We'll see about that now. But anyway, so we picked up big points against the bigger sides. But then you look at our record, 17 points we've dropped from winning positions. We have those 17 points. We're second in the league. I see a lot of Fulham fans saying that this team is the best Fulham side in a while, and it is. So why are we not in Europe? That's down to the manager. There's been games this season where we've been winning in the last minute of the game, and we've ended up dropping points. I can name West Ham at home was one. Danny Ings scored last minute. Everton away. I think Beto scored last minute, and Beto's crap, by the way. Can I just say? And we turned him into prime Lionel Messi. So Beto scored against us. We battered Man United away and we lost. Ipswich Town battered us at home and we got a draw. When we played these smaller teams, we even lost to Preston on penalties in the Carabao Cup. When you look at these, smaller teams, and I'm not saying those teams, I'm not trying to be disrespectful because I've been in the same position as those clubs, but now, yeah, exactly. Now we've moved on from just being it's Fulham relegation battle. Fulham, like we should be pushing for Europe. Like I was talking to Jeff, last season. I don't want to be a team that just sits there and just stands still because look what's happened to Everton. They've stood still. And now they've got worse. And now they're facing relegation every season. So if we stand still, I just look at this season. Bournemouth took a risk with their manager. Look where they are. Forest took a risk with their manager. Look where they are. Yes, we're in 8th, but we're the lowest out of those teams. And there's a reason. And we've beaten Forest. We took City closer than anyone else have in the league so far. Of course, those apart from the teams that have beat them. But before Fulham played City, they were winning games. And only us and Chelsea took them close and went, okay, we could actually beat City. So On Newcastle, I guess. Whatever they was doing.
But so you agree with
Number
Alfie
11.
then? Alfie said the smaller teams take points of Fulham down to Marco. He's
Yeah,
also said
it is down to Marco, man. It
he
is
rates
down
the
to
wrong
Marco.
subs too
And yeah,
often as well.
and what Alfie just said there, the other thing is his subs most of the time are wrong. Yes, he got it right against Chelsea, but look at those games against West Ham. You know what we did against the bigger sides like the Liverpools, the Cities, the Arsenals, the Chelsea. We went to a 5-4-1 low block and counter-attack. We beat Chelsea. Our second goal was a counter-attacking goal. You look at West Ham, we should have gone to a back five. He kept it as a back four, and we conceded. He kept it as a back four because he wanted to counter-attack West Ham in the back four with a low block. So please explain to me why you're taking off Adama Traore and bring on Harry Wilson to play counter-attacking football. That doesn't make sense to me because Harry Wilson isn't someone that will run with you with pace. He's not a blitzer like Adama is. Yes, he's got a good left foot, but he's very readable on that right-hand side. Look at the Everton game. He should have kept it as a back four, went to a back five with 2 minutes left, and we conceded late on. So games like that, you know, when I see that we've got 17 points from winning positions, that's a concern for me.
Okay, so before we go to Liverpool, I'm looking at the league table, right? And you're 8th place on 28 points, and you're 6 points off Forest, right?
Yeah.
You're in 4th.
Yeah.
So almost at the halfway point in the season. From here, what constitutes a good season for you? What would be satisfactory for you personally?
For me, I'd say stay in the top 10. I'd say stay in the top 10. I think the best aim for me, though, what I want to see is Fulham get Europe. I don't want to see that, but I think the aim is for us to get Europe. Conference League, maybe have a late push for Europa League. But we're definitely good enough to do that. And in my opinion, I think if you look at the teams in and around that, of course, maybe besides Newcastle right now, Fulham are the best team.
Okay, so
we haven't played
I mean that's a fair point, but to finish Europa, you have to guarantee Europe is 7th place, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at the teams there: Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, right? Still Man City, right? Then you've got you're gonna have to fight with obviously Forest at the moment, Bournemouth, Villa, Brighton, Brentford, Spurs, right? So do you think out of all those teams, you can be the 7th best team out of all of those?
Yes.
And it's not a shade. I'm just asking.
Yeah. And I think the only team based off right now and how things are going right now that can at least beat us to that 7th place is Newcastle. I don't see. Right. I think we're better than Forest. I don't think City will get any better. And we beat Brentford. We've beaten Brighton. So.
Okay. What about Villa?
I think we're better than Villa as well. When we played them, we battered them. We lost, but I still say we're better than them. And let's not forget about Villa. Like recently, yes, they picked up. I think they picked up a win the other week, but they look really, really weak at the moment. So if that continues, and let's say they advance into the Champions League, and they get a few injuries, like Watkins gets injured, Duran gets injured, that's a problem. So I think we could push for 7th, man.
Something to keep an eye on as well in regards to Fulham is that currently the Prem have the best coefficients. So as it stands, if nothing changes, it will actually be 5 teams that
5 teams,
Champions League,
which would then be the top 8 would
top 8 get Europe. Exactly.
Get into Europe.
Okay.
Can I make one point before you go to Liverpool? Just one point.
Yeah.
What I loved about what Kante was talking about is arguably the nuances in football. You know, this we're talking about. I'm not saying we're giving the most deep analysis possible, but you're looking at the nuances and the fine details of football. So what he's explained to you is, although the manager has been successful, there have been clear mistakes that if you add them up together in the sum of its parts, Fulham could be even better. And this is my point about us. It's exactly the same. Fans have come back to me on Twitter saying, what you saying now, Eddie's winning a run of games. It's the same thing that we saw with Gary O'Neill and Iraola. It's the same thing we've seen with Gary O'Neill and Vitor Pereira. It's the same thing that we've seen with other managers that arguably could be under scrutiny where they can improve. The mistakes you make, the bill comes due at the end of the season. At the end of the season, it's too late. So it doesn't matter if you win 1, 2, 3, or even 4 games. Look at the finer details, the fine margin. So I just thought I'd raise that point in terms of what Kante was saying. I totally agree. Silva, Eddie, they're doing well. But in the long run, is it good enough? are the board brave enough to make the right changes? At the moment, we've seen a team like Bournemouth are a great example of benefiting of that. So I just wanted to make that point.
That's a fair point. Fair point. And we'll know. I think for both teams, we'll know come the end of the season whether the board are brave enough or where depending on where the teams finish. If Fulham get into Europe, I don't see they can sack Marco Silva. If we get top 6, I think it's very unlikely that we move from Eddie at that point. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, moving on to Liverpool, the league leaders, the team that seems to be very consistent, the only team that seems to be consistent at the moment. On the back of the 3-1, 3-1 win against Leicester, extending the lead. I think it's 7 points. Is it now? In the league,
it's going to be
big lead.
Yeah, well, it's going to be 6 because
now that Arsenal are winning.
Virgil winning 1-0, but Ipswich have caused them problems in the second half.
Yeah, I've been
That's
seeing.
why I've quickly
yeah,
but yeah.
Thoughts on the game and Liverpool?
We made it harder than it needed to be, but it was weird because fans have, again, the word Jefferson in terms of nuances was a great word in regards to talking about how, because just loosely to go back to Fulham just momentarily, that's the same thing I said about England with Southgate in charge. And people said that, I was this or that, look at where he's got us and whatnot. So he's gone, now we'll see what Tuchel can do. But anyway, in regards to obviously the Liverpool thing, we started off, and we've cussed about the way we started games, some of the fans. We actually started really well here. And they just caught us on the counter. Gravenberch maybe could have done better in terms of Mavridis paid it in early, and Jordan Ayew has just spun Andy Robertson. I'm like that with my hands on my head, and they've taken the lead. And I thought, it's going to be one of them games. But it's an interesting position that we're in now, because before the season started, as I said when I came last time, I was just thinking get third on the slot because the squad's still a really good squad, but will we have enough? When we can see the goal now, go on Twitter and look at what people were saying. It's so funny. Oh, yeah, I told you Liverpool weren't all that. Oh, yeah, this, that, etc. So the way we've answered back was brilliant. You donut. The way we've come back was a great goal from Gakpo. The pressure was mounting, but they did have 1 or 2 counters, Leicester. Great goal by Cody Gakpo, who, as I told people, Lucho might look better on the eye, but in terms of output, Gakpo's got 10 GNA now in his last 12 games. You get what I'm saying? That should be Diaz, because Diaz started the season like a house on fire, cooled off, scored again, and I won't mention certain people, but he's got more goals than certain people who are being gassed. But anyway, so yeah, once Gakpo got it back to what, that was a very important time to score just before the first half finished, and then we went on, won it. Salah got his at the end of the day, but
goal.
Yeah, we're lovely, well-taken goal, but we're big up Curtis Jones because he never had the best game, but he's the one midfielder in the team that I always think can get a goal when he starts a game. And the important goals are coming from other areas, and then regardless of what the score is, Salah's going to come and get his. And until teams learn how to combat that, it's going to be very hard to take points over us. Fulham almost did it because with 10 men, I'm proud of the way that we attacked them, but there was a save that Alisson had to make at the end of the game from Adama Traore. Otherwise they would have got the 3 points. But this there's a belief in Liverpool. Obviously, Klopp started it off, right? But there's just a belief that when we go behind, doesn't matter. As long as the game's goals, it doesn't matter, and just press through. When Konate comes back, those clean sheets will come back, because that's one thing I'm worried about. But we look like we're going to score, we're going to go forward, and some of the good football, but there's different ways. We did an absurd corner routine that looked very similar to Arsenal, but the big up, Sean. But the open play goals have been coming, and that. But yeah, no, I feel good right now. But tricky trip to West Ham. And a couple of seasons ago, we were flying. We went there, and they ended unbeaten. We were like 30 odd games unbeaten in the league, and then they beat us. But no, it feels good, right? Because before the season started, honestly, I've said we're not winning the league, but now it's becoming a possibility. And obviously
possibility. You're winning the league, bruv. Let's keep it real, bruv.
Because it's December.
I
don't want to say anything. It's December. I don't want to say anything. But we're
Isn't there a record in it? There's only been literally once or something a team that's finished top of the Premier League at Christmas hasn't won the league or something.
Yeah.
No. We've been top at this stage.
It was you guys, I think, wasn't it?
We've been top of this a couple of times and not won it. Obviously, we played City.
Wow.
We played City New Year's Day, and they beat us. That was our only defeat in the season when we lost the title to them in the 18-19 season.
What's the 99 pointer?
Oh wait, yeah. 08-09. The Man United when after the Rafa Benitez rant, let's talk about the facts. Yeah, and then we went and played flipping Stoke, and flipping Jonathan Waters turned into a Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo. You get what I'm saying? Like we've done it a couple of times.
So wait, Double D, are you now? Because everyone, listen, we know Chelsea. They're talking about we're not in a title race, blah blah blah. So. Is it Arsenal that you're concerned about? Because you won't say that you've won it yet, but is it Arsenal that you're more concerned about?
Chelsea as well, until they drop more points, because there's no pressure on them. Arsenal, because City keep dropping points, so the main worry. That's why I've just been turning my so much, because Ipswich have come close to scoring so many times there in that second half alone. I'm trying to use my teleconnect powers to will Ipswich to get a goal, because you lot will cost obviously about. It should be straightforward, mandatory, but you beat Ipswich. But they've shown there it's not an easy game. He actually took Jesus off to put on Marino to give them more stability because they were getting caught on the break so much. But in the box, Ipswich are useless, so they've got so they've been able to get the win. But but this is the period. I want to get that Everton game out of the way, because the Everton game was penciled in for match day 24. But then because obviously we've qualified now in the cup, so believe it or not, some fans didn't want us to qualify for the semi-finals. It's going to be a fixture congestion. So thank God we never, but made easier by how we're flying in the Champions League. So thank God that game yesterday against Leicester never got called off. I was constantly messaging. Exactly, I was constantly messaging a guy that me and D-Man know that lives literally right 2 minutes from Anfield. To give us updates in regards to how the fog situation was. But no, it's good, man. Salah insane, but get these contracts done as well, man.
You know what? I actually won't dwell on it, but I actually think the contracts are done. There's waiting for it to announce.
Apparently, that's what they're saying. Even Risa, and they'll probably cuss him for saying too much, spoke yesterday and saying that he talks to people in the club, and he was insinuating Virgil and Salah are done.
Yeah,
but his Trent is going to go Real Madrid. Yeah, it's going to go Real Madrid. It's whispering sweet nothings about paella and pregnant women.
Just quickly, I know we had Sean jump in. Sean, if you're still here, we're going to have to get you on the pod soon. He's an ex-Millwall striker.
Big up.
Big up.
He's an Arsenal fan as well, so I know he's been watching the game. But yeah, listen, we can leave it there. Thank you all for watching and the comments and all those that tuned in. Don't forget to keep liking the content, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I want to thank Kante and Double D for joining the show as well.
Anytime.
More than welcome. We look forward to February the 1st, or February the 2nd, when we review the Newcastle slaughtering of Fulham. Yeah.
This means what? Hey, elimination chamber.
No. I told Jeff. I want D-Man Monday Night Raw, Netflix premiere.
Double D, I think we're gonna be like managers walking next to the ring, aren't we? Giving them that final pat on the shoulder before they get in the ring.
Rake them in the eyes. Yeah.
No, big up when he said Fab Show as well. Big up Nash, he's tuning in, another Arsenal fan. He said great content. Big up on the 3 points for Arsenal as well. It's going to make it very interesting where Arsenal go from here. And yeah, I'm going to be at the Emirates for the semi-final as well. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, listen.
And we're back on the 30th, aren't we, D-Man?
Yeah, we're back on the 30th, straight after the Man United game. Hopefully, we're starting to celebrate, but we're going to, AC will be back on the show as well. We're going to be reviewing that game straight after the Old Trafford massacre. But yeah, until then, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Big up.